wonderful soul. He's the father of Deeptiman and Ujjwal Nithai, and husband of Kalindi Devi Dasi. She's from Mayapur. They met in Mayapur. Guru Maharaj said, Urukruma have found a very nice wife for you, and that's how they got married, and that's how it happened. And we are very fortunate. They live in Columbus, live in Pickerington. Ujjwal and Deeptiman distribute books left, right, and center, and forward and backward. So amazingly engaged in Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Urukrama Prabhu is guiding them very well. Kalindi is guiding them very well. We're very, very happy. Urukrama Prabhu will speak today. He's a soft-spoken, gentle, humble, Brahmanical Vaishnava. Please pay attention. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And also maybe you can move a little forward so people, maybe you can come here. Prema, sorry, I'm very sorry, but well, people, they sit back, you know. So if you can come in the front right here. Marisha, please do that, please. Sorry to bother you like that. Everybody move forward, yes. Which one you come over here, Bob? Come. Deeptiman, come over here. Oh, okay, you're with your mom. Okay. This is
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari.
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari.
Shodanandana Braja Janarandana Shodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunda Jnanatimidandasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamagyam Dadati Swapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Nam Vishnu Pada Krishna Vrishta Padrishni Mati Dhanavir Goswami Nam Vishnu Pada Krishna Vrishta Padrishni Mati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nam. So we see all the wonderful decorations. So we getting ready for the Krishna's appearance. Tomorrow will be the celebration, and it was wonderfully arranged by, I saw Lalita Mataji was bringing all the decorations, and Prabhu was helping. So it's a wonderful occasion. So I would like to speak what led to the appearance of Krishna. Since appearance is tomorrow, so today we will discuss what was before Krishna appeared. What was the situation? Why Krishna have to appear? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tad atmanam srijamyaham. So Krishna declared in Bhagavad Gita that whenever and wherever there is decline, glanir bhavati in dharma, decline in dharma, and predominant abhyutanam adharmasya, predominant irreligion, then that time I descend myself. So what was the situation? We can see whenever Krishna appeared, what was the situation in the world. There is in the previous appearance, he came as Vamana, also to the same parents, the Vasudeva and Devaki. They were Aditi and Kashyapa. So what happened? There was Bali Maharaj who took over the heaven. So Krishna had to come. Whenever this happened, when somebody take over the heaven, then Krishna has to come to save the world, because demigods just can't handle it. And other incarnations also we can see when Krishna came, there was Hiranyaksha. He traveled everywhere and he was eager to fight. He went through the ocean and disturbed all the reptiles, and he came, finally he reached Varuna, and he, like lowly servant, he fell to the feet of Varuna and he said, "Oh master, you are so mighty. Once you perform Ashwamedha sacrifice and you were victorious. Please give me a boon. I want a battle." And the Varuna Dev, he was angered, but he controlled himself because he knew he couldn't fight him. So he just said that, we are retired from the battles, but I know one person can give you good battle. It's Varahadev. He just now appeared. You're going to be laying down on the battlefield, food for the vultures. And then Hiranyaksha went to fight with Varahadev. So demigods couldn't handle it. And then Hiranyakashipu, same thing. The demigods were like menial servants of Hiranyakashipu. Then Krishna had to come. So, but in this situation, I was wondering, what is so special about Kamsa? I thought he was just earthly king, and he misbehaved, and so why Krishna had to come, and why all the demons, the great demons, Agasura, and Vatsasura, Putana, why they all listen to him? I remember I heard that he made some allies somehow, and they listened to him. But then I read this, my Guru Maharaj, he took Kushakrata translation of Garga Samhita, here, Garga Samhita, and says, Krishna comes to earth. So this is our class called Krishna Comes to Earth. And Garga Muni was the one who gave the names to Krishna and Balaram. He was a family priest, Purihit, of the dynasty of Yadus. And he wrote this treatise explaining what was happening there on earth just before Krishna's appearance. So I was amazed that actually Kamsa had a lot of power. Kamsa actually conquered all the directions. He went and he conquered Banasura. So he went first. When he defeated already a few demons, like Pralambasura. And when he defeats some demons, he would make allies with them and make them into their servants. And he would say, let's go, now you're part of my army. And that was happening also in India. When British came and they took part of India, they from northern part, they recruit the Gurkha soldiers and also Sikhs soldiers into their army. And then they went conquer the other states of India. So when Kamsa came to Shambhara, then Shambhara already knew that so many demons fought with Kamsa and lost miserably. So he said, okay, I will be on your side. I'm your allies. We don't have to fight. And then Kamsa went to Vyomasura. And Vyomasura was sleeping on Trikuta mountain. And he was a very powerful demon. Vyoma means sky, like sky demon. He was flying in the sky. And Kamsa came and he just kicked him and wake him up with his kick. And Vyomasura got very angry. He went and he started fighting with fists. And then Kamsa beat him up. And he feel exhausted by this battle, and he surrendered to Kamsa. And then Kamsa went to Narada Muni. And Narada Muni is amazing position of Narada Muni. He is welcome in any camp. He's Vaishnava or Sadhu. He is actually dear to ruffians and the gentle. So Kamsa went, and Kamsa kind of considered Narada Muni as his well-wisher. And he came to him and he said, "Oh Lord, I am eager to fight and I don't know where to go. Tell me, who else there who can fight with me?" And Narada Muni said, "Go to Banasura. Banasura is very powerful. You can fight with him." So, and he went to Banasura. He came to Banasura, and Banasura got very angry because Banasura was extremely powerful because he had a lot of devotion for Lord Shiva, and in fact, Lord Shiva gave him benediction that even one of his Shiva linga, which Banasura worshipped, will be named with his name, Banalinga. In Narmada river, there is a lot of these Shiva lingas. And so, and then also Lord Shiva agreed to be his guardian in his palace. This is how Lord Shiva ended up fighting with Lord Krishna when Lord Krishna came to fight with Banasura. So Kamsa came, and once Banasura actually boasted to Lord Shiva that I went and there is 4 elephants that balance the earth in 4 directions of the earth. And he said, I challenge these elephants, and they run away from me in fear. So that much power he had. And now some earthly king, Kamsa, coming to fight with him. He was angry. He just kicked the earth with his foot. And his foot went through 7 planetary systems. There is subterranean planetary systems below the earth. There's Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and then Patala. And his leg went all the way to Patala. So each planetary system is 80,000 miles apart from each other. 80,000 miles. So his leg went 560,000 miles inside the earth, piercing all the planetary systems below the earth. And now he said, now pull me up. Let's see if you're worthy to fight with me. And the Kamsa came. He took him with 2 hands and he pulled him up like an elephant pulls the lotus flower. By this pulling devastated a few planetary systems. Many great mountains fell down. And the 4 elephants balancing the earth, they stumbled. And then Banasura understood the power of Kamsa. And that time, Lord Shiva came. And Lord Shiva saw that Banasura was eager to fight. He saw finally somebody who is worthy to fight with him. Because once Banasura complained to, or just opened his mind to Lord Shiva, and he said that you gave me so much power. I have 1,000 arms, and I don't see anybody whom I fight with. So I just go and smash the mountains. Can you tell me if I can fight with anybody? And Lord Shiva said, so very soon somebody coming will take your pride away. And now Lord Shiva came and he said, actually, you know what, Manasura, this Kamsa, he got benediction from Parashuram. That nobody can kill him except Krishna. And Parashuram also gave Kamsa the Lord Vishnu's bow. So he said, better you just be friends. No need to fight with him. Nobody can fight with him anyway. And then that way they became friends. And then Kamsa went, he found that there is a Vatsasura, one demon who took a form of a calf. So he went and he heard that he is very powerful. And he came to this calf. And he just took him by the tail and smashed him in the ground. And Vatsasura surrendered. So that was the fight. So it's amazing how much actually the Lord gives power. Even somebody who is against him and want to destroy everything that he loves. Then Kamsa heard of Kalayavana. Now Kalayavana was an unusual person because once brother-in-law of Gargamuni was taunting him. He just provoking him and wanted to make him angry. And when kings of Yadu dynasty, they heard the taunt, they laughed. And Gargamuni got very angry with them, and he just thought, I have to make somebody whom they're gonna fear very much, who will make trouble for the Yadus. And he pleased Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva gave him benediction that he can conceive a child, a great warrior, who will fight with Yadu dynasty. And there was one Yavana king. And Yavana king had no children. And And that time it was allowed for brahmanas to give a child for somebody who was not able to have child. And he gave child to that family. And that child became Kalayavana. So Kamsa went to fight with Kalayavana. He took his club and went to fight. And Kalayavana took his club and they went and they just smashed the clubs and they fight. And then Kamsa throw Kalayavana on the ground, jump on him, attack him so violently that Kalayavana almost lost his life. And then the army of Kalayavana started shooting arrows at him. And he took his club. Now his club was very heavy. Any guesses? The weight of a club of Kamsa? It's beyond the imagination. Any guess? 10,000 elephants. Oh, that's close. It was 1,000 tons. 1,000 tons. So that it can be also supernatural, because that time the warriors often they didn't go to blacksmiths to make their weapons, but they just invoke weapons, and they had divine weapons, especially having the blessings of Lord Parashuram. So he just took his club and he just started wiping out the army of Kalayavana together with elephants, horses, and chariots, and they just all run from him. And he would not attack them because the enemy who is frightened by Kshatriya codes, you should not attack. Then he stood. He was very mighty. His thighs was like pillars. His chest was like broad door. He had black cloth and long hairs, and it says he had lotus eyes. Actually, through the penance and austerities, one gained a lot of power and also bodily beauty. So, and he stood there with the gallant, lotus flower gallant. And then he decided to go to Amaravati, to the city of the demigods, city of Lord Indra, the capital of the demigods. And he took all these asuras whom he defeated. And interestingly enough, also there was Chanura and Mushtika. They also went to heaven to fight with the demigods. And remarkably, they came back after defeating them. So those were not the regular wrestlers that Krishna had to wrestle in Mathura, Chanura and Mushtika. And with all these demons, he went there. And from this list, I saw 2 demons that he defeated was absent. Actually, he went to Putana, and Putana was eager to fight with him, but she is a woman. So, and he said, "You're like my sister. Why we have to fight? We be friends." So it's very interesting how his duality is there. His principles of Kshatriya, that he don't fight the woman, he don't fight somebody who run, but then he was doing so much atrocity. So that's the uncontrolled mind, not self-controlled person. He is duplicitous. He cannot stick to his rules. Whenever he is tempted, he breaks all the rules. So he went with all the demons. But from this list of demons who went with him, 2 demons were absent. So any guesses who didn't go with him? Yes? Kalayavana didn't go. Right. So because Kalayavana was meat eater and he was Yavana, barbarian. So he could not enter the heaven. And another person, we just now mentioned, Putana, right? Putana, because she's a woman. Women don't go to fight, but she was a ferocious demon. But yes, she didn't go. So they went there, and when they came, the Indra got very angry. He saw that all the demons came to fight with the demigods, and they start shooting all the weapons. And so many weapons was shot back and forth that it was like eclipse. Sun got eclipsed by the weapons. And in that eclipse, Lord Indra went with his thunderbolt, and he threw the thunderbolt with 100 streams on Kamsa. Kamsa took his club and smashed the thunderbolt. And thunderbolt just fell on the battlefield. And we already can understand what will be the outcome of this battle, because thunderbolt is the ultimate weapon of Lord Indra. And then Lord Indra took the sword, and he went and he smashed Kamsa's head with the sword. And came great sound, dong, and nothing happened to Kamsa. So this is why Krishna had to come. That was amazing how much Kamsa had actually power. And then Lord Indra took his club. And his club was made of 8 metals. Gold, silver, iron, steel, copper, brass, tin, and lead. Actually, our deities also made from 8 metals. Like in Mayapur, this Panchatattva, new deities, was also made from these 8 elements. That made the metal very shiny. So that was Indra's club. So he went, they throw clubs, and Kamsa throw his club at the Indra. Indra just catch it, the 1,000 tons. He catch it and throw it back to him. So like that they were fighting, and then Lord Indra took his chariot, and with his chariot he went smashing all the enemies. And Kamsa took his club and give one blow in his shoulder, and Lord Indra momentarily became unconscious. And then Maruts, the 49 Maruts, they were actually born on the side of demons, but they became friends with Indra. So they were fighting on the side of Indra. They started shooting arrows, and then Banasura, with his 1,000 arms, he could shoot 500 bows, because he had 1,000 arms. And at each bow, he could shoot 2 arrows. So 1,000 arrows he would shoot at one time. And he drove them back. So Maruts had to retreat. And then all the demigods went around the Banasura. They surrendered Banasura and started attacking him. And then Narakasura made great sound that make demigods unconscious. And then Lord Indra came to consciousness, and he was enraged with his red eyes, and he called Airavata. And on Airavata, the great elephant, he was like mountain with 4 tusks. And he went to the battle on Airavata. And Airavata was unapproachable with all the decorations and the gold, and he was crashing all the enemies. And Kamsa came and gave one blow to the elephant and one blow to Lord Indra. Elephant fall down and touch the knees to the ground, and Lord Indra fall far away. So then elephant came to attack Kamsa. He took him with his tusk and he threw him 800,000 miles. 800,000 miles. Across all America is less than 3,000. He threw him 800,000 miles away. And Kamsa was, Kamsa's body says that it was as hard as a thunderbolt. So he was unhurt, just a little bit upset about this. And he returned to the battle. It will take us a very long time to come back to the battle. He went back. It just says that they had great mystic powers, actually. Even Kangsa. Otherwise, how he could do all this? And he went to the battle. He took this elephant. He threw him on the ground. He broke his tusk. And an elephant was like scary animal, ran to his capital, Amaravati. And then Kangsa took the bow of Lord Vishnu and he started shooting unlimited arrows. And demigods were getting killed and they ran. They ran and somebody just lost all desire to fight. They put their helmets and weapons and they stood there with folded hands. And some of them lost even all desire to stand in front of Kangsa. And then Kangsa just went, he took the throne of Lord Indra, he took his parasol, and he went back to Mathura. And nobody could say anything. We know that when Krishna wanted to take Parijata tree, then Lord Indra had a fight with Lord Krishna. And here, Kangsa took the throne of Lord Indra, and nobody could say anything, and he just went. So that was the situation. This is why the Lord had to come. So demigods were in great distress, so they all went to the milk ocean to call Lord Vishnu, Kshirdakashaya Vishnu. And they were led by Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma didn't even see the Lord. He just got message from him in his heart. And he said that the Lord said, so they recited Purusha Sukta, the prayers to please the Lord. And then Lord answered, and he said, yes, I am aware of the situation on earth, and I will come. So you all should, through your plenary portions, you should take birth in Yadu dynasty. And all wives of the demigods should also take birth in Vrindavan and in the other wives of the kings of Yadu, and I will come, and eighth child, or I will be eighth child of Devaki. So then demigods were so pleased, and finally there is solution to our problem. So then, so Vasudeva and Devaki were getting married, and then Kangsa, because he was a cousin of Devaki, and he was a mighty warrior, and he wanted to protect Devaki because there was custom that when there is a marriage, the Kshatriyas could kidnap the bride and marry her. So, and Kangsa, being the most powerful in this dynasty, he went to protect his sister or cousin, and he took the reins of the chariot. And this was also a custom that the brother take sister to the brother-in-law house to give her support, because she felt bad, leaving the family. So, and he was on that chariot. He was driving the chariot, and the demigods, they just couldn't tolerate this, because this was the plan that Lord Krishna will take birth from Devaki, and now Kangsa is showing so much affection to Devaki. They didn't know what's going to happen. Because Lord Krishna is very kind to those who serve his devotees. So they wanted to break that. So this is why the voice came from the sky that, oh Kamsa, you're such a fool. You driving this chariot of Devaki and Vasudev, and their 8th child going to kill you. But the Kamsa was his understanding was not mature, and sometimes also happens with us that we may know what the right thing to do, but we will do something else because we just feel like doing something else. So he had understanding of all the principles, but he had this desire to lord over the material nature. He wanted to be the most powerful and in charge, in control. So what he did, he was holding the reins of a chariot with the left hand. He took with left hand the hairs of Devaki, and with right hand he took his sword. He was ready to kill her. Now this was not the correct behavior. We can see, there is another example. We have Dronacharya. Dronacharya had animosity with Drupada, King Drupada. And Drupada went that far that he performed sacrifice to have a child who will kill Dronacharya. And Dronacharya knew that. And then he would not go and try to kill the wife of Drupada. And he would not go to try to kill the child. And furthermore, they sent this child to Dronacharya to learn military art. And he didn't send him back. He teach him, even though he knew that he gonna kill him. So that's the behavior of somebody who has vijnana. So there is jnana and vijnana. We have knowledge, and then we realize what is the conclusion of that. And then we able to behave according to the principles, Vedic principles. This is why sometimes, or most of the time, and especially in our situation, it is advised to have Jnana Chakshush, see through the knowledge, or Shastra Chakshush, see through the Shastra. Or, instead of losing your intelligence, you use your Guru Maharaj's intelligence. You ask him what is the right thing to do. Or when we do something, we think, will that be pleasing to my Guru Maharaj? Will that be pleasing to Prabhupada? And that way, we can stick to the truth or to the right thing, what has to be done. And Vasudeva was trying to explain this to Kamsa. He told him that the death is certain for anybody who takes birth. So that will be there. So why should we be afraid of death? And if one acts impiously, then a reputation is spoiled, the duration of life is spoiled, the opulence is spoiled. Everything is lost. And then at the time of death, one suffers. So why should one act impiously? So, and this is what the Dronacharya did. He just stick to his duty. And this is what Kamsa had to do when this voice came, you fool. He had to say, I'm not the fool. I'm doing my duty. This is my sister, and I'm taking her to the house of my son, my brother-in-law. And whatever happened in the future, then we deal with that in the future. But he got into this. He was thinking, yes, I am a fool. I'm driving their chariot and their son going to kill me. And then he got into a whole this thing. And demigods knew exactly that, this is where where his mind is, and they trigger him, and they wanted him to offend Devaki so that Krishna would, so that Krishna didn't deviate from his plan, because he was a bigger problem for them. Even some devotees, when they perform sacrifice and gain some respect and position, demigods get worried. Now the Kamsa directly challenged them and beat them up. So they were really, wanted to make sure that Krishna's plan will come true. And then Vasudeva promised that when he saw that Kamsa won't listen, he just too far from this. So he said, okay, I will give every child that born, I will give it to you. And then Kamsa believed him, and he said, okay. And they went. And Kamsa had his guards make sure that they stick to the plan, so they give all the children. And then first child was born, and first child was Kirtiman. Now, interestingly enough, Hare Krishna. Kirtiman, there is a record of his 3 births. In first, he was son of Marichi, and in second, he was son of Kalanemi. And Kalanemi was a previous life of Kamsa. And so they had that son, first son, and they brought him to Kamsa. And Kamsa said, and Kamsa was affectionate, and he saw, okay, this first son, so I don't fear the first son. It's the 8th son that I fear. Okay, you can take him back, no problem. And he left. And then Narada Muni came. Narada Muni came. Now that's again, it says that Narada Muni sometimes, he sometimes pleases both sides. He acts out of the welfare of demigods and out of welfare of demons. And this is why demons really like Narada Muni, because he is kind of detached, and he is truthful. So he came, and Narada Muni also came, and he sent a messenger and said, tell the Kamsa that I came, I'm here. And the messenger went to palace, and they said, Narada Muni came. And Kamsa came. He came out from palace, and he paid obeisances to Narada Muni. And he invited him, and he seated him on a golden throne, and he offered him all the respect. And Narada Muni said, I'm pleased with your reception. I will tell you something confidential. And Kamsa said, yes, please tell me, what's the plans of the demigods? So, again, Kamsa really have that much respect for devotees? It's just somebody came from whom he can find out what's demigods planning. So this is why he is so jubilant and he is so respectful. Just get the information. It's like the spy came. You're like, so, and Narada Muni said, you know what? All the demigods taking birth in Yadu dynasty. All the demigods taking birth in Vrindavan. And the Nanda Maharaj is their head, all the Vasus taking birth in Vrindavan. And the other demigods, Devas taking birth in another place, and Vrishabhanu is their head. And Vasudeva is head of all the demigods that take birth here on this Yadu dynasty, and Devaki is the head of all the goddesses that taking birth here. And he said, and you know what? The 8th child will kill you. And he said that, so then he also said that It depends how you count the 8th child, because they all coming, and who knows, they had previous life, so who knows how they count. They count from this one or count from that one. So anybody can be 8. So because the demigods really wanted to get rid of Kamsa. So if he make more offenses, then Krishna will wipe out him quicker. And after all, Narada Muni knows the power of Krishna. He knows that nothing can happen without permission of Krishna. So sometimes devotees put Krishna in dilemma. All the devotees see the mouth of Agasura open, all the covered boys. This looks like a big snake. But anyway, Krishna will deal with him. Let's go. And then Krishna, oh, hey, where are you going? So then Krishna have to solve this. And Bhishma took 5 arrows and he said, okay, with these 5 arrows I will kill 5 Pandavas tomorrow. And then Krishna thinking, what should I do? He took him out. And then he go to Arjun. Arjun, go. Ask from Duryodhana 5 arrows. Tomorrow Bhishma going to kill you with these 5 arrows. So Arjun said, so what? Everybody have to die. Then let me sleep. He said, no, you don't understand. Bhishma took vow, so go get it. So Krishna has to deal with all these situations. Sometimes devotees put him in difficulty because they know that nothing can move, the grass cannot move without Krishna's will. So and they sometimes play with him like that. And also, who knows, maybe Kamsa has a change of heart. If he hear that all the demigods taking birth, the Supreme Lord coming, so all the arrangement is getting made for his death. So maybe he will surrender. He will say, Narada Muni, tell me how I can avoid this. Just like Narada Muni has, he already changed so many hearts. Like that hunter who gave up his occupation and became a devotee. Like Dhruva Maharaj. So he told him all this, so it was known to Kamsa. But the thing is that Krishna made the arrangement. He told Yogamaya to go to Vrindavan and make it very safe. So Vrindavan was very safe, and that way Krishna could grow up. So some 11 years, and there was one demon at a time at noon. So Yogamaya keep it very controlled. There was no messes like demon coming in the night and breaking all the houses, nothing like this, because Yogamaya kept it under control. So Narada Muni knew that. So Narada Muni knew that everything is moved under Krishna's control. And when Kamsa heard that, then Kamsa went and he came to Devaki and he said, okay, give me this child. He may be the age. And he took the child and he smashed him on the ground. And he put Vasudeva and Devaki in prison. When King Ugrasena heard this, he sent his guards to arrest Kamsa. And the guards came and they had big battle in the doorway in the palace. And there was a military army of Kamsa and King Ugrasena. And they fought. And then finally, Kamsa took his club and just started wiping them out. And they just fall with their hands and legs and heads broken, and all palace was covered with blood. So then he went to King Ugrasena. He pulled him from the throne and he bind him with the ropes, and he throw him in the prison, and he sit on the throne and he rule the kingdom. And all the Yadus, when he heard that Yadus taking birth, that all these Yadus are demigods, he decided in his mind that he's gonna kill all the Yadus. But he couldn't do immediately, so he gradually started suppress them, and they under different excuse to see relatives, they start leaving the kingdom. And like this, Rohini also left, and she was staying with Nanda Maharaj there in Vrindavan. So this is wonderful how much power Lord gives, because this power comes from the Lord. Why? He is very detached and he has great respect for the austerities of the soul, and therefore he bestowed these boons. And in Bhagavad Gita it is explained that Krishna explained that actually even the determination that comes to worship demigods, he said, I give this determination. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtain his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. So Krishna is detached. This one of his opulence is detachment. Like in Bhagavad Gita, he told to Arjuna that I told you everything, now do as you wish. But, of course, when devotees in difficulties, he comes. He said, Paritranaya sadhanam, vinashaya chadushkritam, dharma sangsthapanarthaya, sambhavami yuge yuge. I come yuga after yuga to deliver the pious, to annihilate miscreants, and to re-establish the religious principles. But the unintelligent person, when he comes, they cannot recognize him. Why? I was wondering about this because sometimes I'm thinking if Krishna comes, then we get purified and then we surrender. But it's not always happen like this. Like we see many demons, they actually fought with Krishna and they would not recognize him. Why does that happen? Krishna said, Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritta mudvayam nabijanati loko mam ajam avyayam. So he said, I don't manifest to all. Naham prakasha sarvasya, to all. And yoga maya samavrita, I am covered by yoga maya. Therefore they cannot recognize him. Mudho yang nabijanati. Mudas don't know me. The unintelligent fools? No. Ajam avyayam. I am ajam, unborn, avyayam, infallible, or infallible. So who knows? Mudho yang nabijanati. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Bhaktyamam, bhaktas no. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Yavanyaschasmi tatvadaha. Tatumam tyaktvato deha. Vishate tadanantaram. So, those who render devotional service, they can know me as it is. And when they're fully conscious of me, they will enter into kingdom of God. Hare Krishna. So, any questions so far? Yes,
Thank you for the very, very wonderful, interesting class. So you described a very great battle between the demigods and Kamsa, and that Kamsa had defeated the demigods in that battle. And then we also know that Indra was defeated by Krishna in the Govardhan Lila. That's a long story that we all know. And then we know that Krishna defeated Kamsa himself with his bare hands a few years later. So then why, after all that, when Krishna and Satyabhama came as guests to Indra, how did Indra think that he could defeat Krishna? Why did he try to again after all this?
Well, it's sometimes, we get, because Krishna played the human being, and sometimes he played the Lord. So, and sometimes the demigods wanted him to continue to play the human being. It's confusing because Krishna came and sometimes he break all the rules and declare himself the Supreme Lord. And sometimes he wake up in the morning with a cuckoo bird and he goes and doing his morning duty and meditate on himself. And Narada Muni comes or Brahman comes and he wash his feet. So, and then demigods get sometimes confused. They like, okay, so which one you are? Are you the Lord now or the human being? And that creates sometimes their misunderstanding and misunderstanding what they should do. How should they treat him? Yes.
In the Krishna book, in the first chapter, Advent of Krishna, it is stated that Devaki is the daughter of a king called Devaka. So how is she sister of Kamsa?
Devaka. So Devaka was a brother of Ugrasen. So he is his cousin. We created the cousin sister, cousin sister. But cousin is a sister or brother of the brother or sister of your father or mother. So she is a cousin. No, she is a cousin. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for your class, Prabhu. So you mentioned about Narada Muni, who was coming to Kamsa, and sometimes he comes to the demigods, to the demons. And I'm referring to the pastime of Hiranyakashipu. So when Hiranyakashipu was very, he basically ruled the world, it was a very bad time for all the demigods, for all the devotees. And also Narada Muni didn't have the power, or other devotees didn't have the power to bring down Hiranyakashipu. So at that time, what is how do they feel what's in the heart of the devotee if there's a situation where you have to serve some higher authority, but maybe it's not exactly good for the devotee. So we may have in different countries different rulers, different authorities, sometimes different laws that are favorable or unfavorable. We see them in different eyes.
Yes, yes. And this is what Prabhupada told when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was giving class, and Prabhupada came on the class and he said, "You educated person, why don't you preach this message of Krishna on English language?" And Prabhupada told, well, we under British rule, we first we have to get our independence. Who's gonna listen as being dependent, being under somebody's rule? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that this Sanatana Dharma does not depend on some political situation. So we have to stick to our principles. Doesn't matter who is in charge, who is ruling. We have to do our own thing. We have to follow Lord Krishna. right? So it doesn't depend on who is in charge.
But sometimes the devotees have to play the role of subordinate. Let's say when Hiranyakashipu was ruling,
Right.
they were subordinate.
Right, and sometimes it seems that good overcome by evil, right? But Krishna says that good is never overcome by evil. In fact, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, killed these 6 children. Who they were? They Hiranyakashipu, this Kalanemi, previous life of Kamsa is Kalanemi, and Kalanemi had 6 children, Shadgarbhas, very powerful warriors, and they were in association of Hiranyakashipu, and they left association of Hiranyakashipu and started worshipping Brahma. They wanted to get the boon, because just like Hiranyakashipu got boon from Lord Brahma, they also wanted to get boon of Lord Brahma. But sometimes people don't like that. If you find some cheap place to buy something and you're selling to somebody, and then that person goes to that place, they don't like. So Hiranyakashipu wanted everybody come to him. So he got very angry and he cursed them. They said, "You my grandsons, but I don't have any affection for you because you left me, go to worship Brahma. So I curse you that you're so much afraid that the demigods will kill you." They got the boon from Lord Brahma that demigods will not kill them, Charanas will not kill them. So he said, "Your father going to kill you. And next life he become Kamsa and you become sons of Devaki. And Kamsa going to kill you." And like that, these 6 children of Devaki was actually children of Kamsa in his previous life. And he smashed them. So it seems sometimes that good overcome by evil, but Mother Nature will play the trick. So he killed his own children. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you.